Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sean Rueter, and you have come to Cageside Live. I can't match Heyman after what we just watched, so I'm going to stop trying. Like I said, my name is Sean Rueter. This is Cageside Live after Raw on Monday, July 21st. I am here with Matt Roth. What up, Matt?
How you doing, brother? My name is actually Mike Lyant.
Oh, Mike Lyant?
I'm kidding. That was
I thought it was Mike Hunt.
Mike Lyant. Hey, Sean.
Yes, sir.
It's great to see your pretty face again.
Thanks, man. You look
great
good
to see
tonight.
your pretty face again.
You sound better tonight too.
I know, and Ultimate Warrior bootleg shirt. What's up? What's up, everybody? You thought that I was just some dude that didn't know anything about wrestling. Ultimate Warrior bootleg shirt. Can't get that on WWE Shot.
Load the T-shirt with the rocket fuel. Uh-oh, he's shaking the camera. We're getting crazy tonight. We're tired. Let's do it. What do you think of this show, man?
They clearly listened to our show last night.
I guess so. That's what it looked like, right?
They listened to our show and they did everything that we complained about and they fixed it.
We're smart. We're like Hunter's friend Mark. We're smart.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, we should start getting paid, right? Like, for giving them all these ideas.
You would think. Yeah. I mean, give us something.
I mean, shit.
Maybe they can at least give you a real Ultimate Warrior T-shirt. You wouldn't have to wear that bootleg crap.
No, dude, I love this bootleg crap. This is so much better than a real Ultimate Warrior shirt. Yeah, dude, I was really, really, really happy with this show. We kind of discussed it last night, how they were gonna, that they fucked up a pay-per-view and treated it like a Raw, and it turns out that the Raw was better than the pay-per-view.
Yep, we knew that was coming.
That was because it's stupid. It's
yeah.
Stupid. Yeah. I mean, let's kick off the show. It started with Roman Reigns in a handicap match. And he overcame the odds.
Yes, he did. I don't know, what do you think, man? Because you were much more critical of him last night than I was. So how do you think he did? He did have to carry like half of this match. So
he did. I mean, a lot of it was him selling, getting beaten down.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know what? Like, he can sell, and that was really good to see. Is that it's not just power move, Superman punch, drop kick from the outside. He actually can sell. The one thing is that I still want to see more moves from him.
Yeah.
Which he has a year. He has 9 months to get his offense totally squared away. But I wasn't hating what I saw.
I think they told the right story leading up to it too, which is going to be key for him. I mean, I think they still did a little bit to protect him, and there wasn't a one-on-one match. But I mean, it was a cool. I liked the build up to it. Triple H came out and trolled us a little bit, which we deserve. It's always good when he comes out and does that. He didn't quite go into shooting territory, but he was definitely a little bit meta. They teased us with our worst nightmare, which is the Randy Orton would be the headliner of SummerSlam. They did that a couple times tonight, but this was the first time right out of the gate. And then Reigns came out and was the voice of us and said, "No, dog, we're not doing that." And got to punch Kane a lot, which is Kane's job now, I guess, is to take Superman punches.
Which, you know what? Like, when you're at the end of your career, if you can put people over, that's what you're supposed to do.
I'm not dog. That's the right role for Kane. I mean, it's getting to where it's kind of funny because if he's in a match, he's taking the pin, but that's all right. I mean, you're right. That's his role at this point, and he's pretty good at it.
And you know what? He is good at it, and since he is so big, and that they built him as the Demon Kane, when he takes the pin, it makes it that much more legitimate. And again, yes, it's fake, but for me, it needs to have some sort of air of legitimacy. If I see Kane take the pin versus Daniel Bryan when they were in Team Hell No, it means that much more.
Right. Yeah.
So I was happy with this match. Again, my only criticism is I need to see more from Roman Reigns as far as moves go, but I'm optimistic that they'll be able to get him there. They're going to protect him in the sense that they're going to have people that can help him out, help him through matches, and it won't be completely a complete debacle.
Yeah, I think they can get him there. I think the trick is going to be keeping him hot to get there, but like I said, I think they're telling the right story around him to keep him that way while they do this stuff behind the scenes. So yeah, I thought it was good. I think hopefully we're not getting Randy Orton versus Kane, which is another thing I was scared about last night. But they seem to. I think that's going to float around the periphery of the story, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be the main story. It looks like
we're getting Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. Yeah. I'm not a huge Randy Orton fan, but he is a quality hand. Let's put it that way.
And he's another guy that a win over him means something. They've rebuilt him over the course of the last couple of years, and he's a made man, and beating him will mean something. And I think he works a methodical match, but maybe that's what Reigns needs right now. He doesn't need to be in there trying to improvise with somebody. He needs to know what the spots are and get through it, and I think it'll be good.
Yeah, and again, like Randy Orton's, he as far as fan reactions go and main event status, he's pretty much untouchable unless he gets another, he pops another positive for wellness infraction. But
he's been clean on that. Well, clean on that for a while. So
yeah, I mean, he's his status in the main event is fine. So it's actually one of those things where all that can happen is it improves Roman Reigns, both in ring because he'll be able to tell a story with Randy Orton. And also just learning how to call a match, because Orton's decent at that, because everything, as you said, very laid out.
Yep.
So, what was next?
Oh, you asked me like I was live blogging it. Oh, wait, I was live blogging it. What was next? I think next didn't we get some Nikki Bella right away?
I think so.
Yeah, this next was the, they teased it as the 4-on-1 handicap match. Stephanie gave a little pep talk backstage to Alicia Fox, Eva Marie, Rosa Mendez, who's all of a sudden getting work, and Cameron, who now kind of looks like Nicki Minaj for some reason. And then we came out, and Brie was there, surprise. I hadn't read that she was going to be there, so I actually was a little bit surprised.
Yeah, that definitely was a surprise, and it was that they're obviously they're moving towards the Brie and Steph blow-off, which this was a great, again, for some reason they sucked so much last night, and they redeemed themselves with their story that they told tonight.
Yeah, and that's go ahead.
No, but that's what they have to do. Like,
mm-hmm.
I get it. Like this is live TV, and you don't know how many people are going to watch Battleground, but like, this was perfect storytelling for me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I could be this pumped up about Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon. And I think they're gonna. I'm not quite as excited as Gino is. If folks go out on the main page on Cageside, he's fangasming all over himself right now about this angle. I think it's really good. I'm surprised at how compelling they made it. I don't think it's the greatest angle of the last decade or anything, but folks are going to be disappointed when we get to the match. But for now, we should enjoy what we got, which was somehow Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella outshined Brock Lesnar tonight, I think, which is weird.
I don't know if they outshined Brock Lesnar, but they definitely outshined everybody else.
Yeah. Well, they were the main. I mean, they got every time they did a replay of something, every flashback rewind segment was about that story. That was like the biggest story tonight from WWE's presentation until the very end, which I wasn't expecting. So.
Oh, for sure, and you know what? They played back to everything that they did before. This was perfect. This was perfect. It's really weird when you have these like 4-on-1 beatdowns.
Yeah.
Not even like the whole 4 women beating down 1 woman, but just the fact that like Cameron's involved in a storyline. Alicia Fox was, and then they completely dropped her character. Obviously, they're not getting rid of Eva Marie because of Total Divas,
right.
But like Rosa Mendez is just a warm body at this point. She doesn't she doesn't belong on the main roster. She's not a good worker. She can't wrestle. And she's not even one of the more she's attractive, but there's more attractive people now in developmental. So
yeah, I think she might be going to be on Total Divas next year, which might be why she's around. I think she worked a match on Superstars this week, which, if I heard correctly from my sources, was like one of the most horrendous things you could ever see on television. So, but I think she might be headed to Total Divas. That might be why she still has a job.
Okay, I mean, because she there's prettier people in developmental in NXT. So if you're keeping her around because she's attractive, it doesn't make sense. And she can't work a match, so it's one of those things like she's not a valet either. You know, it's not like, oh hey, Layla's kind of getting a little long in the tooth, so let's put her in a dress and have her dance with Fandango. Rosa Mendes serves no purpose right now because she's not the senorita for the Los Matadors.
Yeah, no, I don't know what. The good thing is that she didn't have anything to do but walk out here, because after they did the stuff with Brie, the match was about 10 seconds long, and it involved Alicia Fox hitting an axe kick, and we were done. Apparently, there was some nipple action, if anybody likes that sort of thing.
There totally was nipple. Eva Marie, she was in the match.
Her hair, I was distracted because her hair matched Stephanie's dress exactly. I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
It's like a weird green screen, except it's a red screen.
Yeah. They could project anything against that.
Yeah, man, this wasn't good. But again, it told a story, so I'm happy with what it did. We got another Bo Dallas versus another incarnation of Damian Sandow.
Yeah, they threw a lot of stuff at us marks here real quick.
Yeah.
Damian Sandow as LeBron versus Bo.
I love this. Like, you know what? At first, I was saying that when they first started doing this Damian Sandow shit, I was figuring that he's getting buried. The dude's on television every single week, so so he's not getting buried, and he's getting to be funny, which it's saving his career right now. So you know what? I'm cool with Damian Sandow or whatever next week he's going to be someone else. Keep doing this because he's getting to show that he's a really funny guy.
It is. It's really entertaining. I was a little bit confused by this segment because they seemed like they were spending a lot of time trying to make Bo a heel, and then tonight this was very much like a face spot for him to have somebody coming in trolling Miami like that.
Yeah.
So I think they're a little schizophrenic on, because they've done that with Sandow a little bit too. They started to have him do some face things, like Stephanie was mad at him for doing Vince, and then he came out and made fun of Bret Hart. So they're a little bit schizophrenic, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, it works. Bo, I would be more concerned with. I think they need to kind of pick a direction and go with it, because I think he can be at least a strong mid-card presence with this character. Sandow's just a comedy guy right now, but he's owning it, so God bless him.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about with Fandango or Johnny Curtis last night, is that you could get stuck with a really, really, really shitty character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the Red Rooster with Terry Taylor, and the problem was he didn't own it. You know, like he knew it was a rib on him, and it was fuck you.
Right.
Meanwhile, somebody who made the most of a bad gimmick was Dusty Rhodes with the polka dots. That dude made the most of it.
Yeah.
You need to make the most of these shitty gimmicks because eventually they go, wait, there's something there for you. And
hey, I mean, even if Damian Sandow never does anything else, the dude can cash checks for the rest of his life off of this. He can go and get a nice payday from an indie show somewhere for showing up and, in some sort of costume and doing this shtick. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, and you know what?
He's entertaining people. That's what he signed up to do. Not everybody's a champion.
Yeah, and not everybody is going to be, a John Cena or a Ric Flair or someone like that.
Right.
It's cool being a mid-carder, and he's owning being on the mid-card. And again, it's awesome that it's no longer a burial. He's owning it, and maybe there's a payoff, maybe there isn't, but I'm happy with where it's going.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I mean, and they worked a quick, decent match. I mean, it wasn't anything embarrassing. It got the story across.
And he got when he did when he was setting up the elbow and he's like, I'm going to Cleveland.
Yep.
Like, just little shit like that is why it's such a good character for him.
Yep. I marked out from the time I saw that he had the Miami crossed out on his shirt and tape with Cleveland written underneath it. I was in. I'm like, I love you, dude.
Yeah, this is what you need. Like this
Yep.
that's a smart wrestler understanding the character he's playing.
Yep.
We got a Fozzy plug, which I guess that's part of Chris Jericho's contract every single.
I guess so. I think Michael Cole called it like metal rock or something. He sounded like
a rock metal outfit.
Yeah, he sounded like everybody's creepy uncle again tonight. But
oh my god!
And this was they teased the highlight reel and then they tried to sell us on the app, the app doesn't even cost any money. I don't understand. And then they showed it to us anyway. I don't know. Their marketing drives me crazy, but
because sometimes like their marketing is terrible because sometimes it's so on point, sometimes it's incredible, and then sometimes it's like
I guess it's just like their storytelling. I guess.
Yeah, like I think that's what kind of pisses me off. Like I love tonight's show, but the show pisses me off because I know that they're actually better than they are.
Right.
You know,
yep.
Like this proves you. This proves that you can deliver this, and that you can do an incredible show. And then they're like, oh hey, you know what? Like fuck you. We're doing a terrible show next week just because we gave you something great the week before.
Yeah, I don't understand. It shouldn't be that hard. But we made that point last night, I guess. So,
yeah.
So did they save Wyatt Jericho for you at all tonight with this? What did you think?
Bray's still good on the mic. If we're getting the blow off at SummerSlam and it doesn't go beyond that, again, we talked about it last night. The good guy is the one who's supposed to win in the end.
Yep.
And which means in my head, the bad guy wins the first two. Always. Like you win the bad guy wins the first one, let's say by cheating. The second one is by a clean pin, or maybe a little bit of nefarious means. And then the third one, he gives up a clean pin in the blow-off bout on the major pay-per-view. And and again, like he's great on the mic, and it was a great promo. It was another great Bray Wyatt promo. But fuck, like, are we getting are we getting this until Night of Champions?
Probably, I think so. I mean, like I said, I mean, this just made me think I was right last night, because this is the same speech we've gotten from Bray since he beat Bryan at Rumble, since this losing streak started, which is that wins and losses don't matter to him. He brings war, not fight battles, and he delivers that. He owns that promo, but at some point, you got to back it up. So I guess hopefully it's going to be 2 straight wins over Jericho now.
Which I mean, that's the only way that it can go. That would.
Yeah. I mean, because normally it is the good guy triumphs after some struggle, but this one is supposed to be backwards. So I guess I just assumed that they were still going to have the good guy triumph in the middle, but I guess they're going to do it all the way backwards. He'll go over. Yeah, full backwards.
I mean, the one thing I would like to address, somebody brought it up in the comments that your role in you. Yes, I am agreeing with Michael Hayes, and in this one instance is that if you are given a shitty character, a shitty gimmick, and you own it, it makes it a real character. But if you get saddled with a shitty gimmick and you say, look, I didn't want to do this, I didn't want to be here, I don't want to be this, that's on you. And if you are a pro wrestler, at the end of the day, your job is to entertain the fans. And if your heart's not in your character, and if your heart's not in your gimmick, you're not going to entertain anybody.
Yeah, and I think I also think that there's some in the WWE, at least. I think there's some, for some guys, they give them a shitty gimmick as like a rite of passage, and it's a test to see, do you soldier on and do your best, or do you throw your hands up in the air and complain about it? And that's death if you do that.
And
so.
Look, and Damian Sandow, like he has the lineage that Triple H will want. So maybe this is that, let's test you and see if you can handle having everything just ripped away from you.
Yep.
So that's my comment on the addressing the Michael P.S. Hayes comment that you left. I am agreeing with Michael Hayes on this.
There you go. You're allowed to. It's America, goddammit.
Yes. I'm the most American person.
There you go. Yeah, you chanted in bars for soccer teams. That's more American than me. So.
And when I see boobs, I do chant USA every single time I see boobs.
They don't have boobs in other countries?
Oh, dude, and that, like, if every single time I see a boob, I get, like, I'm like, ah! And then I just chant USA because I think that that's the only way to react when you see boobs.
All right, I'll have to try that next time I see some boobs. I've never done that before.
Your wife is going to hate you.
I know, she's gonna be like, what got into you? All right, so we'll see with Jericho, Bray, where that goes. What happened next? Let's see here. We got that. Oh, then we got a surprisingly long Dolph Ziggler Miz match.
No, we got we got Emma, Dolph, and all the African American baby faces.
That's true. Yes, everybody had to say hi to Flo Rida first.
Meeting Mr. Rida, and what was really funny was Flo Rida gave Emma a kiss, and she looked super weirded out by it.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, but then we did get the extended Miz and Ziggler match, and that was a good match.
Yeah, it was. They worked. It was a little rough at first, I thought, but they ended up telling a pretty good story. It's different. I don't know. I'm tired of watching the Intercontinental Champ lose every time the belt's not on the line. That's such a cliche now, but it was a good match. They've got some purpose. I guess this is our feud now, because Sheamus is going to go and face Rusev tomorrow night on Main Event or something. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I still, we talked about this last night. I like Hollywood heel Miz. So, I mean, he entertained me tonight, too.
Yeah,
the crowd's into Ziggler. I think this is sort of Dolph's thing now, is that they may be consciously like holding that big win away from Dolph because that's his shtick now, and it gets people even more behind him that he doesn't get the big win.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Dolph Ziggler, he's always been an internet fan, an internet fan darling.
Right.
But live crowds weren't always super into him, and it seems like he's finally getting that reaction where live crowds are like, "No, this is a guy that we want to cheer for and want to see win." And it's good to see that all that time of him just selling the shit out of every single move and making everybody else look like $1 million is maybe finally coming back to him.
And I think that it sort of catches on too. I mean, that different crowds see other crowds respond to him, going back to the one where he cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase after WrestleMania, which was like an insane crowd. But from there's been momentum that he's sort of kept up with live crowds, and people have embraced him as that guy. And he's making it work for him, and I think they're booking towards it. So that's cool. And this should be a good feud to tide both of these guys over for a while. So
yeah, I mean the Miz, as I said last night, he's not terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a great gimmick for him.
Miz sold the shit out of that zigzag at the end too, the one where he just stayed on his head and let Dolph just grab his legs for the pin. I thought that was a great sell. It's like working with the sales master, and he pulled one out himself. So, yeah, I like that match.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a really good match, and it was nice to see them giving some quality time for a match to actually tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing bad to say about this match. I liked the next segment where Triple H was talking to Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And then we got Cesaro coming in saying that he's no longer with Paul Heyman. And
Weird.
that that's one of those things where when it first happened, really excited.
Yep.
And then they did nothing with it because all Paul Heyman kept doing was saying, "My client Brock Lesnar."
Yep. And it didn't do anything for anybody.
Yeah, it didn't. It kept us it kept us reminded that Brock Lesnar exists. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean that's true. You're right. It's not that it didn't do anything for anybody, but it didn't do anything for Cesaro.
At all.
Yeah, and it didn't really do much for Heyman's reputation, because I think Heyman does have a bit of a knock now that he's not getting guys that aren't Punk and Lesnar over. And,
you mean guys that were already over?
Yeah, exactly. So, whether or not you buy into that criticism or not, it's out there now. And so it didn't. So the only person that did well out of the Cesaro-Heyman pairing was Lesnar, who hasn't even been on TV in 4 months. So there you go.
Yeah.
That dude's got a cushy gig.
Dude, that guy has the best job in the world.
Yep.
I mean, but yeah, I agree with what you said, though. I think that with everybody has these expectations of getting paired with Paul Heyman is basically like the golden ticket. And if you look at who he's been paired with, Curtis Axel did nothing with him.
Nope.
Ryback, he kind of pushed, like he got a push, but he was already getting that push anyway. And then Cesaro did nothing with him. Like at some point, you got to go, hey, Paul Heyman only really works with guys that are already over, and he just adds that much more to them.
I guess, I mean, because that's, I mean, Axel and Ryback were both damaged by the time Heyman got them. Cesaro was not. Cesaro was on the upswing, and it didn't go anywhere. So this is the one that's really, like, it's hard to make excuses for. The booking wasn't great, but...
What was Axel really, really all that damage, though? He was making his debut with...
Yeah, well, I mean, but people, I mean, everybody knew he was McGillicuddy.
Yes, and, but I mean, that's like saying Bray Wyatt was damaged goods.
Yeah, well, the other thing is that Bray Wyatt can talk for himself, and Axel cannot be trusted to use words in a sentence.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing with Axel is they had him rolled out to do this feud with Triple H, and then they pulled the plug on it to put H back with Lesnar, and then Axel just got the Intercontinental title and lost a lot, and so, I mean, I think there's a bunch of different excuses you can make for why those guys didn't work, but I don't think you have any of those with Cesaro. Coming off the win at Mania, with crowds getting behind him, they should have been able to do something with that, even while promoting Lesnar, and it didn't click.
And nothing came of it. We did get the AJ and Paige versus Natty and Emma. And
Emma got some screen time. I guess she's out of the doghouse, kind of.
And but more importantly, they took our advice from last night.
Yes, they did. Finally, thank God. And this is the page. Let me be NXT nerd again for a second. This is the page I've been wanting for 2 years, because even when she was a babyface in NXT, I was like, this girl is a fucking heel. She needs to go in here and beat the piss out of some people and tell them what she thinks about them, and finally tonight I got to see that. They teased it. She played tweener in NXT a little bit, but finally tonight she fucking wrecked AJ, and then she mocked her, and it was glorious. And I think she got the best reaction she's gotten, you know, certainly ever on the main roster. I mean, people were pissed tonight.
Except for when she won the title and everybody was surprised.
Which, yeah, but that was just a total surprise pop, though.
So for the people that aren't NXT nerds and didn't watch the episodes when they were on Hulu, what's now the same as what it was? Because I only saw the stuff that was on Arrival, and that was it.
I mean, this is just basically like I said, she was kind of a tweener down there. We would sort of debate in some of the NXT comment threads on Cageside about whether or not she should go heel or not, because she is very popular, especially with the smart crowd. But she's got, I mean, like I said, she just got this fire that she was somebody who in a match she would dominate people, and so she was kind of not quite Karma, but I mean, she was a badass,
right?
And she didn't. She was the anti-diva. She wasn't soft and cuddly. She wasn't being cute or funny. She was just there to be a badass and scream and kick your ass. And now we're unleashing that completely on somebody who can sell like crazy and who crowds want to cheer for, and it should be pretty awesome.
It's awesome. I mean, I was happy with what they did with her. I thought that was awesome.
I thought she looked more comfortable than she has in the whole time since she's been called up too. She really was working the crowd and playing with them, and I thought it was great. I was really excited to see this.
You know what? We talked about it last night about the rumors of her having anxiety and stuff. Maybe that's also it too. Like maybe she wasn't feeling comfortable with the character that she was given.
I mean, she might not have really understood what they were asking her to do, because I didn't understand what they were asking her to do.
Right.
So I mean, I could totally see that. So
I mean, it's clearly that she made a turn, not, you know, in like the heel face turn kind of way that you say it, but something finally clicked for her tonight. Yep. And like she turned the corner, and I'm excited to see what they do with Paige. And you know, obviously we couldn't see a great Emma match, but I don't think we're going to get that for a while.
No, she's going to have to work her way back up. But maybe with Paige, I mean, that's the one thing that Emma's feud with Paige was always kind of missing on NXT, is they were both sort of playing face. I think they could have a great feud with Emma as the babyface and Paige as the heel. I think that could be. I mean, that's a year down the line probably, but
yeah, right. But I'm excited with what they did with Paige, and again, like the going back earlier, that the match that we got with Nikki getting beat up, it wasn't a match, but it's nice to see them committing to a female storyline besides just AJ with what it's been for the past year.
Right. Yeah.
We're actually getting we have now 3 active female storylines.
Yep.
Which that hasn't happened, I don't think, ever.
Maybe like in the early aughts when like Finley was booking and you had Trish and Lita and like Molly Holly would also have a story and Mickie James was floating around somewhere. Maybe I'd have to go back and double check though. Even then, it was probably only 2 stories.
Right. Like we have three stories right now.
At least 3, because I mean the next match here was the continuation of, I guess, was Cole calling them Slayers because it's Summer Layla. So that's a terrible name, but it's a story. And we still have Cameron and Naomi, I guess, floating around up there. We didn't get anything on that tonight, but we could have up to 4, count them, 4 Diva stories right now.
Which is amazing.
That's crazy time.
Yeah. You know what else was crazy?
What's that?
Zack Ryder got a win.
He did, and he got he got his tushy grabbed or something. It was crazy. But Ice Z was in the house.
That actually was the most surprising thing about the entire show.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I had just made a joke in the live blog about how the Triple H's decision graphic had all these jobbers in it, like Slater and Ryder, and then boom, he showed up, and then boom, he won. It was awesome.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
I need to go back and try to figure out when the last time Ryder won on Raw was. It had to be like in the build up to the Kane feud, like in 2009 or whatever the fuck that was.
Fuck. No, you're right. It's oh my god. But
that happened. That match happened.
It did happen, and then we got the interview with Renee Young in Florida, and Florida said that he's going to impress Triple H tonight, so he gets a shot at John Cena.
If you know what he means.
Yeah, but
it sounded a little sexy talk to me. I don't know, but hey.
Dude, he performed the exact same set as he did 2 years ago at WrestleMania.
Was the last song wasn't new?
No, that was a new song.
That's what I was expecting. Yeah, the first 2. I mean, yeah, that was the only way I know those songs is from WWE commercials and like pay-per-view hype, and then the WrestleMania performance.
Like, this was the exact same performance, and he got 0 reaction from the crowd.
I know. There were like 3 drunk hot girls in the crowd who were dancing just because they wanted to dance. But other than that, yeah, it was nothing. It was.
I'm personally really excited when next week Machine Gun Kelly comes out.
Well, he couldn't come out this week because Cena wasn't here.
Yeah.
Which, did you find it? They didn't even address Cena not being here, did they?
No, they didn't say why or anything.
That was weird. I mean, it's one way to handle it. It didn't hurt the show. I just was expecting there to be some kind of mention or something, but...
Yeah. I mean,
what does that tell you when the face of the company can disappear and we get one of the better Raws we've had in a while?
It says that John Cena sucks.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Well, sorry, LOL, Cena sucks. But then the shitty performance led into perhaps the greatest performance in the history of professional wrestling. Ever. When Stephanie McMahon was arrested.
Gino, is that you? Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Dude, it was the best. It was the best.
All right.
Come on, like,
it was good. I liked it. What do you want me to say? I don't think it was the best thing in the world since toast was ever made on toast. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Come on, no, come on.
I'm looking at this GIF in the thread too of Zack Ryder getting excited because Summer and Layla are caressing his sides, and that to me is the greatest thing in the world. Ice Z, I'm so excited. I'm gonna tweet him right now. Send him my regards.
No. Seriously, it's Stephanie getting arrested, and then Triple H coming to her rescue, kinda.
Now this I will agree with, because Triple H, I can't believe how much I love him as this character. It's really weird for me, but yeah, the sleazy guy coming to her rescue and then deciding he was going to stay at the club for a little bit longer. I mean, That's what that's what he was doing basically. That's the call you make to your girlfriend or your wife at 1, where you say, "I'm coming home, baby," and then your buddies talk you into staying. That's what Triple H did.
No, but it was like even before that, like I actually a little bit of me said like maybe she was getting arrested because the way that he reacted, word for word, how you act when your friend or your significant other gets handcuffed.
Yep.
That was the exact reaction that you have. And that was amazing. Like, this was the best acting ever. Like, if he did this in The Chaperone, dude, that would be the best fucking movie ever.
Yeah. I never saw The Chaperone, but it couldn't have been this good, or it would have been a hit.
This was fucking Marlon Brando-esque.
He's the man. I mean, he got Joey Mercury some work. He was getting his friends in there tonight.
Joey Mercury showed up.
Yeah, Joey Mercury got he got to say lines on television. I don't know if that didn't even happen when he was with Punk in the Straight Edge Society.
The entire thing was amazing.
I thought it went on a little bit too long. I could have done without like the crying in the hallway, but it was good. It was, Steph is amazing, and her husband's better. So,
but one criticism, that dress was not flattering to her chest.
No, it was weird. She kind of had like a lumpy, like plastic. I made out of plastic look going on all night tonight, which is too bad because she can really rock some dresses. There you go. For everybody who wants to get on me when I write a feminist article, I just critiqued how
her boobies
a 40-year-old mother of 3 looked in a dress tonight. So yep. I'm an asshole. Thanks.
Yep, that's Sean, not me. I thought she looked
at S1 rude. Tell me I'm a hack and everything else. It's fun.
I thought that she looked spectacular.
No, you are a gentleman and a scholar, Matthew Roth. I am a pig.
I was just trying to set Sean up.
Got me again. It's what you guys always get me on these Raw podcasts after a pay-per-view podcast when I'm tired. I say something racist or sexist or something.
That's what we call gotcha journalism.
There you go. What happened next?
Rybaxel versus Big E and Kofi.
Oh.
Who cares? This is something that we got to talk about. So, who cares about the match? It was whatever. Looks like we're going to get the Nation of Domination, and somebody said that last night.
Yeah, somebody did. I was all for the tag. I mean, I was just happy that we got the Big E Kofi tag team. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, then they went the whole way. Xavier Woods showed up dressed as some sort of like cross between Louis Farrakhan and a pimp, and shit got weird.
I think we're gonna get the new Nation.
So are they gonna be heels? It sounded like they're gonna be heels.
I think they're just gonna take what they deserve.
This WWE doing any kind of race angle makes me so nervous, especially on the heels of since we've got Rusev and Swagger going at the same time. But
are you saying that you feel that they're gonna do Crime Time 2.0?
No, I think they're gonna do. No, they're not gonna do that. Like I said, I think Woods is looking like I don't know. He sort of looks like a Malcolm X kind of a character. I think they might be. I don't know. I don't like Vince McMahon's politics on black people standing up for their rights, and I think I don't know. We'll see. Because the problem is that if they're heels, they're going to lose. So I don't know. I'm just nervous. That's all. Don't mind me. I'll let it play out. I'll wait and see. I'll do Gino's favorite thing. I will wait and see.
Please just let it play out.
Okay, you can have it. You got it.
Let me have my moment in the sun right now.
I was calling for Mark Henry to be the mouthpiece. Xavier looked good and he sounded good. They might have found a role for him finally after he's been kicking around since TNA for the last 10 years. So
here's another thing. Is Xavier is this a better role for Xavier Woods? Like, is he not that great of a wrestler, like that Brad Maddox kind of thing, where he's not a great wrestler, but he's really, really charismatic and good talker?
In my opinion, yes. There are people who I respect a lot who disagree with me. Rex on the site, some other people who are big fans of his work, like his Consequences Creed. I think everybody agrees that he's a better talker than he is a worker. Some people think he's a better worker than I do. I think this is a good role for him, though, and I think it's nice that it's not dancing guy, which is what WWE has stuck him with since he's signed with them. So it's a different kind of racial stereotype, but at least it's not dancing guy.
Yeah, and we actually get something that could be really good for his career.
All three of these guys. I mean, like, yeah, Big E and Kofi weren't doing anything anyway. So try this.
Right. I mean, I don't know what they do with it. It's good to see that maybe we get another heel tag team, which I think was the other. I was thinking about this today or after the show when we were talking about the tag team match between the Usos and the Wyatts, and why it bothered me so much. It's that the Wyatts make sense because they have so many babyface tag teams, and so just having another heel tag team that you could take seriously that's not Rybaxel, it means so much. Like, it means so much for that division.
And I think it was before Woods showed up, Cole even made some comment about Rybaxel being in line for a tag title shot now, so they may use them as like a filler feud for the Usos, and then get to whoever's next. I don't know when did the Rhodes brothers show up tonight? Was it right after this?
Yeah, it was right after this.
I don't know what they're doing with those guys either. I don't even know. I assume they're baby faces, but I'm not exactly sure. I kind of like the Cosmic Key promos. They're weird, but I don't know where they're going with those guys at all.
I mean, maybe Batista is going to come back as Drax the Destroyer, and
don't tease me, Roth.
And it's going to be a Marvel Cinematic Universe tie-in.
Oh, son of a bitch! Now, if it's not that, I'm going to be disappointed.
You're going to be so mad. You're going to be so mad.
All right. Yeah. So looks like we got a Nation 2.0.
Or the makings of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't bail on it before they actually commit, because this could be great. This could be great for everybody involved. My one question is who they're going to feud with, because the Nation had a natural feud with the Generation X. Yep. The only stable that exists right now in the WWE is the Wyatts, and I don't think that they're going to do a Wyatt feud. No. And they're definitely not going to be facing off with what's his face, with the Authority. So
yeah,
I don't know where they're going to go with it, but I'm happy that they're going to go somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is Stardust and Goldust. Maybe that's the first. I don't know. We'll have to see. They might have to build somebody up for them to face.
Yeah.
God, I hope it's not. Just as long as it's not what Swagger does next. Oh, please, no.
Nope.
Okay. Anyway, so Swagger didn't show up tonight. He was off selling his knockout. Rusev was still selling the ankle, man. Do you think Swagger really hurt him?
Really hurt. He's really hurt, and that's the funniest thing.
He sold it all the way through that match. That was the only reason Khali got offense in, was because he was selling that ankle.
I was really hoping for some really, really stiff leg kicks from Rusev that would cause Khali to have to retire.
I think that, oh God, I don't know why they keep trotting Khali out there. It's hard to watch, man. I'm worried something really bad's going to happen, and I don't know. I think it took him 3.5 minutes to fall down at one point.
Yeah, dude, it's getting bad. It's not funny anymore.
No, it's just creepy and wrong, and well.
And yeah, I get that he's still a celebrity or a big deal in India, but this is America.
We have some Indian cage-siders who say he's not a big deal in India. I've had conversations with people that I think maybe Vince thinks he's a big deal in India. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he was World Heavyweight Champion once, so just always remember that. And what happened after that? Oh,
that was the Stardust and Goldust.
Then we got Stardust, so we talked about that. Then we got probably my favorite match of the night after that,
with Ambrose and Cesaro, and this was a great match.
These guys went at each other. They didn't stop for however long it was, 10, 15 minutes.
No, wait. Before we talk about this match, can we also talk about how Renee Young was waiting to talk with Triple H. She's a hell of a journalist.
She is. Well, Michael Cole dispatched her to apparently go to a different room backstage. He made it sound like she was going downtown, and then she's just in front of a different door.
It just says I thought that she was actually at the police station. Then
they made it sound like they were really gonna. I mean, and the way they were selling the angle, I thought maybe we would have a special on location Renee Young. Nope, she just moved down to a different part of the hallway.
interviewing Stephanie McMahon behind some glass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would have been great if she was down at Central Booking. That would have been awesome. That would have put it in the best angle of the last 10 years. But no,
this is why
damn budget cuts.
Yeah, like this is the budget cuts, and this is why you can't fire your production crew, guys. Or you should just hire Matt Roth, because I'm really good at coming up with things on the fly. We did get a hell of a match between Ambrose and Cesaro.
Yeah, and it
Really
made Cesaro is still sort of lost, but I mean, this was for one night anyway. This was a cool spot to put him in. Like, I'm in business for myself. I'm going to prove myself to you. I am going to beat the piss out of this crazy man who's been giving you a problem, and he really did. They beat the hell out of each other.
And then
it had some good psychology with the show. They both worked the shoulders. They did some cool spots. This could be a feud. If after Ambrose is done with Rollins, if they want to work that, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, it ended with how it should have, which is Dean Ambrose wins by disqualification, and and just sitting with it on the chair in the middle of the ring. I thought this was a great ending. I thought this was a great match, and it told a great story. It sucks that Cesaro now is without any sort of direction, but maybe that's what needs to happen right now, because he just spent a year with, or however long, it felt like a year with Paul Heyman going nowhere.
Yeah, it really wasn't even that long, but it felt like it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what's next. I mean, he still could easily get a face reaction if they wanted to go that way.
When's the last time he's pulled off the big swing?
He hasn't done it since Heyman gave him the nickname the King of Swing. I don't think I've seen him do it.
Hasn't done one.
Yep. So they protected the guy. They protected both of them with the finish, I guess, with Ambrose taking the DQ. They continued to get across the point that he's a crazy man that'll do anything. There was one spot in this match that I have to talk about. I think they were going for the superplex spot, and Ambrose got out of it by sticking his hand in Cesaro's mouth and then headbutting him. And it's little stuff like that that sells the character a lot better to me than just getting the chair to take the DQ does. It's just that he'll do anything. His music is awesome too. If I haven't said that lately, of all those Shield repackaging musics, Ambrose is, as soon as you hear it, you're pumped up. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Love me some Dean Ambrose.
You love Dean Ambrose. I'm a Seth Rollins guy.
I know. I love all of them. I'm excited to watch all three of them grow.
It's like getting to choose which one of your children you like most.
That's true. That's why I don't have kids. I can't even decide which one of my cats I like most.
You can't even decide which one of your favorite wrestlers you like most.
Exactly, I can't. I'm total wishy-washy. Man. Sorry.
Yeah, but this is when we get the Renee and Hunter, and this is the one thing which was amazing to me is that, yes, it's kayfabe. Renee Young asked a tougher question of Triple H than every single combat sports journalist asked of any sort of promoter or fighter or boxer, anything. This was the toughest question you've ever heard in combat sports.
Yep.
And, that's what a journalist is supposed to do.
Even a pretend one.
Even a pretend one. This was perfect. Hey, shouldn't you be with your wife? Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
And H just looking down that giant nose of his, just scowling at her, was the perfect response.
He was so pissed at that question because that might have been a shoot. That could have been a shoot.
Those are two people who are very good at their job, that little 1-minute segment.
Yep. And then finally, we get to find out that Triple H wants to give us Randy Orton and John Cena again.
Yep. The Orton, the trolling the crowd with Orton all night was I dug it.
Oh, it was great.
I mean, he opened with that and closed it. I thought I was a little bit disappointed. There were a few things I was a little bit disappointed with in the end. One was that for some reason the Reigns fighting Orton, I guess because everybody knew, we were all just waiting for Lesnar's music to hit. So that sort of it helped set up their feud, but I don't really think it gave it much of a send-off. The match at the beginning of the night was better than that. But I appreciate Triple H super troll one more time.
He's really good at it.
Yeah, he really is.
But Triple H is treating the WWE hey, I know I'm actually I'm reading all your I'm reading all the things that you guys are saying, and just I'm just gonna rub it in your face a little bit.
Well, and here's the other thing with Triple H that I think with like when Vince does something like that, it's because somebody told him, hey, the dirt sheets or the dirt screen said this, and we should make fun of them. With Hunter, I feel like part of him kind of agrees with us. If you watch the way he books NXT, he agrees with a lot of our criticisms, but he sort of honors them by making fun of them, if that makes some sense.
Right.
I think he's sort of with us, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't think that he's on the inside and we're on the outside, and that we deserve to be made fun of a little bit for it. So I don't know. He's my man. He might be my favorite wrestler right now. So there.
Oh, for sure. And I think that part of it is that I don't think that Vince McMahon loves wrestling anymore. And
he certainly wouldn't call it wrestling. So
but who knows if he ever was as passionate about it as Triple H is. And I think that's also why we're getting the signings that we're getting in NXT. Like, fucking Prince Devitt. Prince Devitt is not somebody that the WWE would ever sign. They would never sign him. He's 5'8". Granted, he's a handsome man. Mm-hmm. No problem saying that. But he's 5'8". They would never sign him ever in a million years. And they just signed him and probably paid him an exorbitant amount of money, and they gave him a sweetheart deal that said, hey, you're not going to be stuck down in developmental for a long time.
Yep. I mean, we'll see. I mean, yeah. I mean, I still think there is some pushback between Hunter's Triple H's NXT and Vince's main shows. But yeah, I mean, just look at that Kenta interview today. I mean, the dude is about as tall as Renee Young. I'm sure she has heels on, but I mean, I'm not making fun of Kenta at all. He's a motherfucking badass. But that's not somebody that Vince would sign, or if Vince had signed him on his own, his name would be like something terribly racist, and he would be coming in and he would be Funaki. Is who he would be,
yeah,
and that's not what they're going to do with him, and that's awesome. So
yeah, I mean, and here's another thing. Like Kevin Steen at least kind of looks big. He's 6 foot. Like he's not a big guy either.
No.
And we're seeing a shift in away from bodybuilders to people that are actually really talented at their craft.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows how long Vince is going to be around for? Who knows, whatever, but right now we're getting a really, really cool product for the future.
Yep, I agree. It's pretty awesome.
And
it's coming in, I mean, and it's coming in gradually, so if you are still a fan of the old guard, or for people who are, not, don't read the dirt screens or don't ever watch Japanese wrestling on YouTube, you still have a little bit of everything in there. So they can, this is why we get so frustrated with a show like last night, because they can put together a show that, doesn't push any like cheap hot buttons, that tells good stories. I mean, that's the Brie Stephanie thing tonight. In the course of one episode, they put together a story that made you care for the babyface, get pissed off at the heel, and then be happy when the heel got a comeuppance. And they never once had to reference a plane wreck or make a racist joke or have Jerry Lawler stare at anybody's ass. You didn't need any of those things. They can tell a good, complete story in a 3-hour episode of Raw, but they don't always do it, so we get pissed off.
So, I'm looking at the comment thread, and apparently Jon Stewart is discussing Lana and Rusev.
Well, somebody from Cageside's comments can go and call Jon Stewart a pansy later, I guess, because that's what it sort of devolved into when I bailed on our thread about it today.
Look, we said it last night. It was a bad call, but they kind of addressed it already, and they weren't wrong in how they addressed it, saying that, look, we never really mentioned it. We just kind of said that recent events, and you kind of took it with how you want to take it. I
mean, I think Gino's right. I think they're probably thrilled because they're getting talked about today, and they're still a big part of the pro wrestling mindset it's that Eric Bischoff controversy creates cash. There's no such thing as bad PR, and that's fine. It's one of those things that makes it hard for me to tell people I'm a pro wrestling fan and not feel like I have to apologize or explain myself, and that kind of stuff gets on my nerves. And I don't think it was the right call, but whatever, let's move on. I mean, they're going to do something else embarrassing soon enough, too. So
right, and you know what? You'll be able to, for the site, it's awesome because you'll be able to post the Jon Stewart talking about Lana and Rusev video. So
controversy creates cash for us, too, or for somebody in SB Nation. I don't know, maybe not me, but I probably just got myself fired for saying that, but anyway.
For somebody.
Moving on.
And then you know what? We might have gotten the promo of the year tonight.
He was on fire. This is the other thing I was disappointed about is like I said last night, I wanted to see Brock. I wanted to see him destroy somebody or at least tear the set up, and he didn't. We got no physicality from Lesnar. He jogged in place and he smirked and he shook Triple H's hand. But we got Paul Heyman firing on all fucking cylinders, and right up, in a way only Paul Heyman could, like splitting that Cena sucks, let's go Cena divide, and making you're not sure. At different times I was like, yeah, I want to see Brock kill him, and at other times I was like, but wait a minute, you're an asshole. I mean, just playing it perfectly, like only Heyman could.
Heyman's really good at his job. Like he is. He's really
his
good.
job might not be getting new talent over, but man, he is good at.
That man is good at speaking.
Yeah, and if you put him with somebody who. He's so good at speaking that you feel like he needs to be talking about somebody legendary like Lesnar or Punk, and when he's not talking about somebody like that, you're like, whatever.
Yeah, he needs to be speaking about somebody with credibility. And what he said tonight was so on point. It was so on point. Like, this is the kind of this is why fans love Paul Heyman, because he's able to say stuff where you're just like, you're captivated. You like, I had shit I had to do. I had to take the garbage down. I had to take the garbage down, and then we were going to do the show right after Raw, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to not be ready for the show after Raw because I'm waiting until the end of this promo, and that this wasn't something to skip. Like, this wasn't like a contract signing at the end of Raw and you just see him brawl. Like, this was perfect.
No, I stopped live blogging. I was like, you guys just need to go find a video of this, because I need to be paying attention to it right now. I can't transcribe it for you.
Oh, hey, I just wanted to let you know, Gino's in the thread, and he said that you're fired.
Oh, motherfucker, what did I get fired for now?
We're talking about how everybody else is getting rich except for you.
Oh, it wasn't because I didn't say that Brie and Stephanie was the greatest angle in the history of angles?
Oh, you're fired, though, so I guess...
Well, now I can say it with impunity.
You can't fire me. I quit.
So wait a minute. Not only does WWE listen to us and book their angles accordingly, but Gino Morasco, the general, listens to us.
Which I can't believe that man has enough time in his day to do this.
I know, and he makes time to listen to us. We have got swag, my friend.
We may be going.
I don't even know what swag means. I'm too old to know, but I think we might have it.
I think we may be going places.
I'm gonna ask Xavier Woods if we have swag, because I think we might have it.
Oh man. Overall, what was your thoughts on the show?
It was really good. I enjoyed it, and that for me to like a show that I have to live blog too is something, because that usually takes it down a letter grade for me. I don't think it was the best show of the year, but I mean it was in the B+ A- range for me. I mean,
I would say that it was.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there was anything I hated. Well, Flo Rida. So okay, it's a B+ because I'm not giving a show with Flo Rida on it an A, but that's just me being stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great show. They advanced storylines that they were supposed to advance last night. So I'm gonna give it a B+ A-. Probably closer to an A-. The only other thing which I wanted to discuss with you before we go off, which not related to Monday Night Raw, but kind of, I read in the rumor thread, because I read the dirt screens every single day, that part of the budget cuts is that they're going to be cutting the travel for the production crew.
Yeah.
Did you see I hate Vince McMahon for this.
This made me I think was it today too where they had the news that they laid off Ricky Steamboat too.
This legitimately bothered me. Because maybe it's because I've done a lot of traveling for for MMA, and there was people that were based out of Austin that worked for the WWE on their production, and those people I get to know them basically at the airport, because I'm traveling for the UFC and they're traveling for WWE, and they do so much work, and they literally sacrifice so much time to put on the product that you see as a fan, but they get no credit. Who cares about the person laying down miles of cable so that what comes up on the screen is actually high quality and actually works, and just the fact that you would, that's where you're cutting costs, not like, oh hey, we don't need Flo Rida. You don't need Flo Rida. You don't need to to get Hugh Jackman to come on. Granted, Hugh Jackman is a guy who loves the product, and probably Flo Rida does too, but like, come on. Like if you love the product so much, just that bothered me. Like this legitimately bothered me, because I really know how much these people sacrifice. Like it's so weird that you would cut costs, and that, oh hey, contractors, we're not going to be paying for your flights and your gas. You got to pay for it yourself, because that means that why am I going to be a contractor for you?
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing that made me think about that today is, because one in the first round of rumors, or maybe not the first, an earlier round of rumors about the production budget cuts, it was that they were taking out things like Bad News Barrett's, raising pulpit, and the Russian flag, which tonight, hey, look, guess what was back the last couple of nights? The giant Russian flag. And that's not to choose that, or Flo Rida, or any number of other things over, giving your fucking road crew a decent per diem so they don't have to go broke paying for gas and Whataburger, is ridiculous.
Look, for everything that they did right tonight, and that they do right as a company, and they do a lot, like the Be a Star stuff, the stuff that they do with Make-A-Wish, you can't really give them shit or give them a hard time for a lot. But like, fuck, dude. Like, if you want to cut talent, you want to get rid of JTG, who should have been cut years ago, do it. Not going to complain about it. But like, if your production crew, the people that are setting up the lights and legit things that go towards your end product that just people don't notice or don't know about, you're going to be cutting their stuff, which means that they're not going to be having the safety in mind, because they're exhausted driving from Austin to to fucking Texarkana, which I'm sure you've done that drive,
Mm-hmm.
which is like driving through Texas sucks. Driving through the United States sucks, as somebody who's done it plenty of times and has done it for Warped Tour, and driving just across the country sucks. And if you're exhausted, and then you got to be at the arena at 7:30 a.m. because you have to set up giant lighting rigs, that's so fucking retarded. And I'm sorry I just said that word, but I'm legitimately I'm mad about that.
I mean, it also ties back into what we were talking about earlier about how frustrated we get because they don't market consistently, they don't tell stories consistently. That, to me, in my experience working a bunch of different kinds of jobs for a bunch of different kinds of companies, is a sign of bad management. And making a decision like this one to cut costs there while you don't cut costs other places is also a sign of bad management to me. So maybe they're like the greatest I mean, Vince McMahon is one of the greatest wrestling minds ever, whether he likes to call it wrestling or not. He's created this thing that nobody else could do. He unified the territories. He made them basically a monopoly. But he may not be the greatest day-to-day manager. We got a lot of evidence that says he's not. We don't know for sure. It's all rumor and conjecture because it's pro wrestling. But if stuff like this is true and they've got guys quitting because they can't afford to work for them anymore, basically, that they should be ashamed of themselves.
All right. That's my run at the end of the night. Sean? It was great as always, man.
Yeah, good times, man. Two and two nights after like 2 months off. So we got to keep this shit up,
dude. Let's just do it tomorrow night with main event, and then the night after with NX. I'm kidding. We're not going to do it tomorrow.
No, we're not doing that. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you next week, brother.
All right, deal with it.
Later. Bye.